Shalom, ʟᴏᴜᴜ Hashem Yahushai. What's up with the bonds, Elder GMS? Honest to the Akim. Peace and bless you, brothers and sisters. Listen, know for the elect, ʟᴏᴜᴜ Hashem Yahushai. And do this video today getting at the small hats, these Amalekites, the chief house of the devil, man. The sons and daughters of Satan, the worst of the heathen, man. ʟᴏᴜᴜ Hashem Yahushai. And talked about this in the last video. I believe 2 videos back. Finally get time to do this one on, Kanye and these other guys who bring out half-truths and they be used as controlled opposition. Mainly this dude, Ye, they said today about some banner that they were posting up, getting at these Amalekites. We know that whole thing probably staged and set up, man, because they're trying to push a certain narrative, ultimately to get at us, man. Okay, we already know the end game. We know the persecution and the demonization is coming. All right, we already know this through the power of Yahweh Shai. The scripture tells us that. Okay, and that who's the top of that list? These Amalekites, man. And that this goes back all the way from the beginning. I'm going to get scriptures on that, man. And you guys are not the chosen people. Okay, you don't even fit the color, the curses. All right, the Messiah himself is supposed to bring you back into that land. We know that. I'm going to get those scriptures in a minute. And you control everything, man. Okay? Most of the damn slave traders were Amalekites, man. Okay, we know you control the Federal Reserve Bank. You control Wall Street. You control these politicians. The judicial system, man. What else these devils control? Hollywood. Okay? They control Hollywood, man. They control the media, and if they control the media, they control your opinion. I think they said most of the 6 Amalekite families control the majority of your media companies. Let's see if I can pull that caption up. Okay. And Fox News is a part of it. So Kanye going on there, so-called spitting all them against them, that's all folly, man. Because an Amalekite controls that news station. You see, but like I was going into their influence and their control, man, the children of this world. We'll prove what Yahweh Shai said in a minute. And when we go into the one world government and we go into the banks that control everything, starting from the head down, they're Amalekites, man. Okay? It's totally disqualify them from being the people of the Lord, man. It's to the contrary. All right? Matter of fact, before I even pull the scriptures, you had their own people who had made quotes about them. Okay, I'll just put it up, man. You know how they the sons and daughters of Lucifer, Satan. Okay, which we know Lucifer means light bearer, and he is that Lucifer. But they let you know that they're children of the devil, man, and how they manipulate the American people and their politicians, and how they the ones who start all these wars, man. Okay, I remember Mr. Samuel said that. All right? See, Yahweh Shai said, what's in darkness is going to come to light, man. And we in a time now, whether we're staged or not, your own people, these lower Edomites, they also going to come up against you, man. Because that's a house divided against itself, man. You see? Let's get the first precept, though. Matter of fact, let's get that Exodus 17 chapter. When it first happened, let me see. I think Exodus 17. Because here these Edomites supposed to be our brothers, supposed to be. All right, they're a wicked brother. All right. But it says, let's get this. Exodus chapter 17, verse 8. Then came Amalek and fought. Oh, no. It says, Exodus chapter 17, verse... let's just start from verse 8. Exodus chapter 17, verse 8. Right? So here these Amalekites, they attacked us. Here it is, we're weary in the wilderness, and they attacked us from the back when we're tired, man. Completely unprovoked, man. And what were they trying to do? Prevent us from reaching the promised land, man. And it's the same thing today, man. All right? Exodus 17 and 8. Then came Amalekite and fought with Israel and Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose out men and go out and fight with Amalek tomorrow, and I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High in mine hand. And so they were fighting today against them spiritually with this word, man. So Joshua did as Moses has said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses and Aaron and Hur went up to the top of the hill. Okay. Let's read jump down to verse 13. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial. This is in stone, man, to be remembered in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, man. Okay. And Moses built an altar and called it Jehovah Nissi, for he said, because Yahweh Shemel Shah have sworn that Yahweh Shemel Shah will war with Amalek from generation to generation. Like we're saying, that still holds fast still today, man. Because we know that Saul, the Most High, wanted him to get rid of the Amalekite king, which he didn't. Okay, Samuel did it. And King David warred with these Amalekites, man. It's the main reason why the Most High disposed of Saul, took his spirit away from him. You see, because he didn't follow the order, man. Slay the Amalekite, man. Okay. And we know Haman the Macedonian. Oh, man. But let me get this next precept, though. Okay, before I read 1 Samuel, the first chapter, we get the book of Judges. You get Judges. Judges chapter 6, verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Yahweh Shemel Shah delivered into the hand of Midian 7 years. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made the dens which are on the mountains and caves and strongholds. Read on. And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them. You see? And they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till thou come unto Gaza, and left no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ass, no ass, for they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude. For both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and we just read also the Amalekites joined with them, and the children of the east. That's what scripture even tell you in Psalms, the 83rd chapter. They made a confederacy against Israel, and one of the chief nations are these Amalekites, man. One of our chief enemies and adversaries, man. The fake you know who. All right, these small hats, man. Okay. It says, and it came to pass when the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh Shemel Shah because of the Midianites, that Yahweh Shemel Shah sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, man. Okay, and that's what Yahweh Shemel Shah is doing right now. All right, Moses sent the prophets to raise up Israel. He always did, man. That's why you read Psalms, the 50th chapter. Let me get that. Matter of fact, let's start from verse 16. Psalm 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, who's the wicked? I saw Malachi, the first chapter. Okay, we're going into the Amalekites this lesson. What hast thou to do to declare my statutes? So that cuts y'all. Y'all calling yourself the Jew. Call yourself rehearsing the righteous acts, the commandments, which you don't even believe in the commandments. You believe in the Talmud, which is a wicked, evil, demonic book. That book is completely wicked, man. Okay? That's the foundation of your faith, man. Okay? And thou should take my covenant in thy mouth. And you're in the land right now, which you don't even belong. But that's also the prophecy, because the scripture says the Idumeans would take his land. They would take our land and put it in their possession. That's in the prophecy, man. Okay? Let's read the next verse. It says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. When I saw a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to do evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit, like they're doing today. Hell, they did it back then with Haman the Macedonian. Okay? Tongue framing deceit and trying to destroy us as a people. All right, but the Most High raised up Mordecai and Esther and thwarted their plans, man. And he and his household, the gallows he made for Mordecai, it fell upon him and his entire family. So what a trap the enemy set, like we're talking about right now, the traps they trying to set to come after us by using this clown Kane and the rest of the agents they have, ultimately is going to fail, man. Right? That's the point. Let's read on. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, who Jacob, thou slanderest thy own mother's son, and is mainly going into the elect. These things thou hast done, and thou hast kept silence, and thou thoughtest I was altogether such one as thyself. But I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes. And that's happening right now. The dry bones have life now, man. Okay, we got the flesh, the sinews, everything. We're in our garments of righteousness. We have our identity back, which you stole. And we have the names of Yahweh, our true power, and Yahweh Shai, man. So it's game over for you, man. The Most High is setting us in order. Thou prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. That's him setting us in order. Okay? He anoints us with oil, which is what? The Rakakwadas. We have the understanding of the book, man. Okay? The Lord woke us up, man. In the valley of the shadow of death. And they see that and they're petrified. Okay? So just how they did back then, try to sneak attack from the back. This is what they're doing right now with this campaign. They're not coming straight out. Like we said, they're using these guys, man, to plan their assault on the prophets, man. Like we said, back then they try to ambush us. And they're doing the same thing today. Same as there's nothing new under the sun. In fact, let me get that Wisdom of Solomon, I think the 2nd chapter. Let's get it. Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, man. Okay, so this is spiritual warfare. And that's why they hate us on the internet, because it's something that they cannot control. All right, even though, yeah, you have Zuckerberg, a so-called Amalekite, who has Facebook and Instagram, right? But ultimately, they can't really control the internet, man. Matter of fact, Jay Rockefeller said that. Another Amalekite. He said, the internet should have never existed. It's a threat to national security. Okay? Because they have, like we said, they have a monopoly on information by controlling the media, the narrative, people's opinions, their thoughts. But the internet was something mainly created to spy on people and see people's beliefs. When we see that with social media, you can pretty much determine who everybody is, because everybody puts their information up online. But ultimately, they also got exposed in the process, man. Right? Information came out of them, and ultimately the truth came out. All right? But let me read this. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 8. And this is the wisdom of the wicked. Okay? The elite. It says, let's read Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. The whole chapter is good. But I'm going to start from verse 13. The entire chapter is good. It says, who they talking about? The prophets. It said, he professed to have knowledge of the Most High. He called himself a child of the Lord, which we are. Yasharallah, he's a prince of the power. He was made to reprove our thoughts. That's what the Most High said he would do in Psalms the 50th chapter. Okay, reprove you and set them in order before thine eyes. We are reproving you. Okay? You guys are the wicked, man. Scripture says that favor be shown to the wicked, yet he would not learn righteousness. In the land of the Lord shall they deal unjustly. You call yourself the people, you have the records, you have the land, and you're still wicked as hell, man. Gay parades over there. Unlawful spiritual practices also. Still upholding, like we said, those demonic beliefs, the Talmud, the Kabbalah. Okay? And where the rest of the tribes at, man? Where's the Mashiach at, man? Y'all talking about y'all gonna build a 3rd temple. Where's that at, man? You see? Let's read on. It says, he is grievous unto us even to behold. So we are grievous. We're an eyesore. Okay? For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We're not of this world, man. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He has stained it from our ways as from filthiness. See, you don't have our mind trapped like the 2/3 of our people, man. Because they're caught up in the matrix. They caught up in this scheme you call the American dream. And ultimately, they're going to be destroyed. Right? He pronounced the end of the just to be blessed and make his boast that the Most High is his Father. He's our Father. He's our power, man. See? Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. It says, where should I read down to? Let me read down to 21. It says, for if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with his spitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. That's what they really want to do. That's why they have these camps set up. Right? But they're starting it now with their slander campaign. Let us condemn him with shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness have blinded them. These are the things that they're imagining. The scripture says the heathen imagining a vain thing. Okay? They want to set up this NWO, and they rule in the world for all eternity, and they're going to extend their life to technology and bring down the world's population. That's vanity. That's not going to happen, man. We're going to rule, man. Okay? Our time is next, man. And like shown in the scriptures, you know, the long war that we had from back then in Exodus, back then during the time of King David. Matter of fact, let me read that precept. Haman and right now. Okay? Let me read that 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter. What is it? 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 1. Let's get into this history. It says, and it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south in Ziklag, and smitten Ziklag, and burned it with fire, and taken the women captives that were there. See? So when King David went to Ziklag, the Amalekites came into camp and took the women, man. See? They slew not any, neither great or small, but carried them away and went on their way. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power to weep. And David's two wives were taken captives, Anoah the Jezreelite, and Abigail the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed for the people's sake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and his daughters. But David encouraged himself in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, his power. David had faith, man. Right? Even though he was in an effed up situation, man. You know, your wives and your children got held captive by the enemy, the worst of the heathen, man. Okay? One of our main adversaries in the scriptures, man. Right? But the scripture says he didn't give up hope, because that's a pretty hopeless situation. The enemy got hold of your wife and your children. All kind of thoughts is going through your mind, man. But he encouraged himself in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Now, I don't want to read the whole thing down, but let me read verse 10. But David pursued he and 400 men, for 200 abode behind, which were so faint they could not go over the brook Besor. And they found an Egyptian in the field and brought him to David and gave him bread, and he did eat, and they made him drink water. And they gave him a piece of cake of figs and 2 clusters of raisins. And when he had eaten, his spirit came against him, for he had not eaten no bread nor drunk any water 3 days and 3 nights. Right? So he gave them information to King David. And let's read. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Let's read. Verse 16. And when he had brought him down, behold, they were spread abroad all the earth, eating and drinking. These are the Amalekites. King David found their camp, because the Egyptian told them where they were at. It says, and because all the great spoil they had taken out of the land of Philistines and out of the land of Judah, and David smote them from the twilight even unto the evening of the next day. So from the sunrise, pretty much the sunset, King David was kicking their ass, putting their ass to death, man. Right? They were partying, drinking, you know, and ran down upon them, man. All right, and it says, and they escaped not a man of them, save 400 young men which rode upon camels and fled. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives. So the house of David is going to win in the end. All right, the house of David is going to win in the end, man. Because like Yahweh Shai said, let me get that John chapter 12, verse 30, man. See, ʟᴏᴜ Yahushua said, he said, verse 31, he said, now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out, man. The prince of the power of the air. His Idumeans underneath their daddy, the devil. They're going to be cast out of rulership. All right? The prince of this world shall be cast out, man. In fact, let's read this last precept, man. Numbers, the 24th chapter. Some of you brothers and sisters know the backstory between Balak and Balaam. Balak, the Moabite king, wanted Balaam to curse Israel. He was seeking him to do enchantments. And of course, in work, scripture says, no enchantment shall work against Jacob, man. All right? And this is the prophecy that Balaam had. Let's read Numbers 24, verse 17. It says 15. Numbers 24:15. And he took up this parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, have said, and the man whose eyes are open have said, he was in a trance. He said, he have said, which heard the words of the Most High, and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, fallen into a trance, but having his eyes open. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. They shall come a star out of Jacob, Yahushua Mashiach. Right? A scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy the children of Sheph. Yahushua come back to reign war. Scripture says he shall not meet thee as a man. Okay? And his elect, his brethren, his family, he's going to share his throne, his dominion with, man. Joint heirs. Alright? And Edom shall be what? A possession. Seir also shall be possessed for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. So you Edomites, you're going down, man. You are the last standing empire that will be ruling when Yahushua return. The beast, man. Okay? And the whore is Babylon the Great. It says, out of Jacob shall come to, and we know that the bear is who? Russia, man. They're all Edomites. Okay? Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. When he looked on Amalek, these Amalekites, he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, which you're ruling right now. Like we talked about the power and the dominion and the influence that you have, controlling the money system, the land of Israel, entertainment, media. Okay? If you control the money, like that Rothschild said, you can care less who make the laws, man. And America is your sword. Okay? America go out its way to protect these small hats, man. Over there in the land, man, that don't even belong to them. You see? All these politicians are Amalekites. Are they puppets? Okay? So they are the first of the nations. It says they were the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he shall perish forever. ʟᴏᴜ Yahushua, man. We in that time, man. But he's going to come with smear campaign, and they just going to physically come after us, man. All right? But he's going to lose in the end. So that I'm going to say, ʟᴏᴜ Yahushua, Shalom.